Hey y'all, I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Alyssa.
We are your buttons babes, and this week we are pushing an interesting button of as seen on TV, being hit on by your loved one's significant other. So, it is one of those things, right? It's one of those things that you wish never happens to you. I mean,
you see it on TV and you're like, oh my God, like you're watching it and you're like crawling out of your skin. Maybe it's just me, but like you're like,
it's like,
oh my God.
Why? And in life also, it's what do you do? Like, how do you handle a situation like that? Like, my brain, like, gets so I get so uncomfortable. It's crawling like, out of my skin.
Can I disappear? Like,
right?
That's like,
it's one of those things. Okay, what do you do first of all in terms of like responding to said individual? Because everyone, of course, like from jump, they're like, tell them off, like get out of here, like your significant other or whatever, or find a way out of the situation. But it's not as easy as it seems, because it has happened to moi. And then on the other side of that, in terms of what do you tell that loved one of yours, that someone that they care about did something predatory or did something that
XYZ, whatever it is.
Just how do you handle that? Because the first time it happened to me, I'm not gonna lie, I froze. It was just like, fuck, why? And it's one of those things that you try to handle gracefully. You think in your head, oh, I've got this. This is how I would handle that situation.
I know how to do this. Here's what I'm going to say. Here's how I'm going to do it. This is exactly, that's like a shower conversation that you have in your head one day that you're just like, when this happens to me.
Easy. No problem. Nah, playa. That is not how it happens, because you are caught off guard. It is so uncomfortable. I'm not saying that it's not possible. There are some people that are very grounded in who they are and their boundaries and know how to diffuse the situation. But sometimes it's a little bit more of a dance of like, yo, where, like, aren't you with, oh yeah, that's what I thought. Great. We're going to act like this never happened. Or like, because it can explode and it can go sideways. I know friends who this happened to them and their friend told them. They didn't believe them.
That's, I think, like, is the fear, like, victim shaming, any type of thing where your consent is not granted for an advance, like, sexual otherwise, is, like, who's going to believe you?
Right.
Like, because usually this kind of thing happens, like, at, like, a big event where everyone's dressed up, there's an open bar, like, holidays, weddings, quinceañeras.
Hello.
Any other thing that people dress up really fancy for and get drunk, or just like, I don't know, like a regular day also, I'm sure this happened. So
yep, there are some sleazeballs out there, like, of all categories.
But like, it's like, okay, well, if it's a comment, like, okay, can you like,
is it a serious
formulate
comment?
Like enough to like have a good comeback, or to be like, excuse me? Like, do you want to say that again? So you can hear what the fuck you just said to me? Because we can talk about it with everyone who's here.
Exactly.
But if it's like a physical thing, also then like if somebody gropes, like, what do you like, hey, somebody, so-and-so just felt me up. Like, also, what are you wearing? Is like what comes to my mind to be the first question that someone's going to be like.
I've had too much experience with this. I have actually had a significant other fill up two of my very close friends. And like, one of the instances did not happen in front of my face. It was my birthday. And she is one of those friends. She's like, yo, whatever it is, I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna have that uncomfortable conversation, because she's like, I don't want you with a piece of shit, and I need to let you know in case he says it and I don't say it and then I look like I'm not telling you something. Absolutely not. And she's like, look, I don't want to talk about it now. I don't want it to be a problem, but this happened. Grab my ass. And I was like, oh, okay, I will handle that later. Like, and it's mortifying on the other end. And my thing is, for people that don't believe the other person, like, why would they lie?
Yeah. Like,
I don't understand.
Who randomly, like, has a fun time being like, oh, yeah, your boyfriend felt me up today.
Right?
Or, like...
Why cause that kind of
girlfriend,
drama?
your partner.
Yes.
Like...
There are cuckoos out there. I completely understand who like drama.
We all know one.
But majority of the time, why? And so in my head, I'm like, that says something... For those of you who are those honest friends, those honest sisters, brothers, whatever, it says everything about that person and not you if they think that you are lying. That is an insecurity that they have to figure out and deal with amongst themselves and their partner. And it's uncomfortable. It's hard to deal with, but it blows my mind.
I feel like they either know and they're in denial,
yes.
They're finding out and they're in denial, or, I mean, generally maybe they just really don't fucking know. But at that point, then it's also like, what else don't you know?
Right.
But not to put shade on any of those people because, I mean, people can be tricky. There are men, women, and others out here with, like, 2 families that can get away with it sometimes.
How do you have the time? I'm curious. Like, I'm like, how do you afford it? How do you have the time? Like, what? Anyway, we digress. In terms of, okay, what do you do? How do you handle the situation? I feel like it's case by case, or like what kind of person you are.
Your relationship to that person maybe help. I mean, I feel like if it happened to me and it was like one of my siblings, significant others, I would absolutely say something. Yep. It would be like at the soonest time that I could collect myself, that I would say something. But if it's somebody that I like, maybe don't know if they would for sure like receive that from me,
isn't really a friend,
then I think I would have to scope it out a little bit more, because
it's tough. It's hard. There is no right or wrong answer because and it's terrible to say, but there's a certain level of it that's not your problem. Like, that happened to you, it does depend on the person and how close you are to them.
Yeah.
Because if it's someone that you have an idea like, yo, they're not going to believe me, they're not going to take me serious, then I'm going to invest time and energy in trying to show them this, especially because for people that do that, they do it because they've gotten away with it before.
Yeah.
And so it is a repeat thing. They like to push boundaries and see how far they can get. And so it's a matter of, like you said, maybe they know and don't want to deal with it. There are those people out there, they're like, nope, everything's
not
perfect.
My chair, not my problem.
Yep, everything's what it is.
I don't see it, I can't.
Like, and so that is, and it, like, me personally, let me know. Tell me.
Yeah, that's like...
Tell me. Because
if we've got some things that need to get discussed, then
we need to have these conversations. And that's the level of friend I am as well, and the level of friends that I want around me. If my significant other is doing some shit, you see some shit, please tell me, because then we will go have a conversation and we will handle it. Has nothing to do with you. Appreciate the information, and then I'll take it from there. Anything less than that, because if I saw, my friend out, like my friend's significant other out and about doing some shady shit, nah, B, I am.
Then it's full on detective.
I'm a snitch. If you're doing some shit, don't let me find out, because I'm a snitch.
Okay, but like, are you like I'm about to put this on Facebook Live, here we go, like, here's the pictures, here's the screenshots, or like a silent, because I think it would also depend on the people for me to like put it out there like front page news if I really was like, you know what, today I am here for violence. Like, that's the kind of shit that I'm absolutely like screenshotting and tagging and resharing and reposting from everyone's account that I possibly have access to, and then also calling their mother. But like,
I'm sorry, that's different. I was trying to catch my breath. I'm like, that's different. That's so different, and I receive that. I'm not.
If it's family, I will absolutely choose violence.
You're
It's gonna
like,
be great.
everyone's seeing this.
Yeah.
No, like, if it's not violence or anything like that, or if it's not funny, like if it's something that I know is gonna wreck some shit, I'm very much so hey, we need to talk one-on-one. Let's go get lunch.
It depends.
Like,
It depends, because even if it would wreck some shit, I might be like, today, we got the wrecking ball. Where's Miley?
Oh, well, you know what? There are some friendships and some family members who are in certain things where I'm like, I'm throwing that wrecking ball.
Right?
Like, see, I told you, but I love you. I told you. Like,
It's the I told you so. That's
It's like, you didn't want to listen. I gave you little hints all before. And
so now Facebook knows.
Right? Like, with my dramatic ass. Because, who doesn't like conflict? It's entertaining. It's, terrible.
The world is full of chismosas.
Okay.
It's true.
Y'all, so let us know what you think, or if we would love to hear the situations that you have been in dealing with loved ones, significant others, and would love to read them in the comments. So,
and the story, all the cheese.
yes,
That's what we want.
We want the details. We will pop some popcorn. Like, we will, what is it? Like, live reaction them janks. That would be fun. Anywho, that's what we've got for you this week for our buttons of the week. Do not forget to like and subscribe, and we will catch you next week. Bye.